Welcome back, everyone. It's Jasmill and it is very early today. It's a Monday and I just got ready to, start my morning, going to work. So I wanted to do a girl chat video, a talking video. I feel like that's where my channel is really going to evolve more into, help as many girls, women as I can, just by sharing my experiences. I'm not an expert, I'm not a pro. Sometimes I don't even know how to verbally explain myself the best way that I can. It just comes a little bit more hard for me. I think it's because my Mercury in Pisces. I love astrology and I might make an astrology video in the future. Talking about the co-star rap and everything. Signs of an abusive man, signs of a toxic man, and how to avoid those certain types of men. So the only boyfriend I had was in high school and we were together for almost 2 years, but he was very, very toxic, very, very, very abusive. But in the beginning, I thought that was love. I thought it was, how a man should treat a woman. I thought he was very, very affectionate and loving and attentive. And we were together almost every day. He came over my house every day. He texted me every day. But that was just the thing. I thought that was love, and I thought that's how a boyfriend should be. And I thought that he was the best boyfriend in the world. I thought he loved me so much because he held on to me really, really tightly. But later on, when we broke up and, when I started looking back at it and just how I've grown a little bit older, I've noticed that that was the sign of a very insecure, very beta man, someone that was very, very toxic, very, very, very traumatized. There's a certain way that we all deserve to be treated, and just because someone has issues and traumas and they're really, really hurt doesn't mean that they can hurt you and that they can do those things to you, and doesn't mean that you need to stick around and heal them and be there for them, especially if it's hurting you and it's detrimental for you. Because I don't want you to stay in something that's really harmful and you can get even more physically hurt or emotionally hurt, psychologically just fucked up, because people like that will really F you up and mess you up, and it takes a long time to get over things like that. In the beginning, like I said, he was very, very not aggressive in a violent way, but just really, really holding me tight, texting me all the time, wanting to see me all the time. And I thought that was good, calling all the time, phone calls late at night. And, I loved that because my love language is quality time and acts of service. And I felt like he gave me a lot of time and a lot of attention. And I really, really liked that, especially from a guy, because I didn't really get that I don't really have an emotional connection with my dad. So I feel like anytime a man shows me a lot of attention, a lot of men don't, and I don't really get approached a lot. Right now, in this stage of my life, I don't just fall in love with the person that is chasing me. I look into other things. But back then, he was the only one that, was going after me, wanted to see me, wanted to text me, wanted to call me. A lot of guys didn't approach me, so I just felt like he really, really liked me, so I wanted to see what was there. I feel like he definitely was looking for a nurturer and someone that was really kind and loving, and I was that. And I was also looking for attention from masculine energy, so that's kind of how it started. Also in the beginning, there was a lot of rumors circulating. A month into our relationship, rumors everywhere about him cheating on me, him getting with another girl, him doing this and doing that. He was always very, very defensive about it. No, they're just doing that because they want us to break up. They're just jealous, haters, blah, blah, blah. And even throughout the whole relationship, 6 months into it, there was another rumor about this no, and he was writing with this other girl and saying that they were cheating on me and everything. He was like, okay, here's this no. I know you're gonna find out about it later, so I just wanted to show you this no. Everything in there is a lie. I was pretending, blah, blah, blah. And I would even confront the girls that were in these scenarios with him, the girls that he was cheating on me with. And they wouldn't say no, but they wouldn't really say yes. It was very vague. It was very weird. And those girls also didn't have the best reputation, I guess. they were known for, you know, just being with a lot of guys. And I'm not saying that that's their fault, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but since it was very vague and no one was really telling me to my face certain things, it was just rumors, and he was just being like upfront and talking a lot about it and getting really defensive about it, and it seemed like he just really didn't want me to believe the rumors. I believed him, but that's another sign. I feel like if there's a lot of rumors, especially in, you know, high school, a lot of people talk, and you know, there could be some haters, and there could be people just wanting to see you not happy if you're happy. But if there's a lot of rumors from different kind of groups and different kinds of people, then there's obviously some truth to that. There's got to be some truth to that. And he never, even to this day, admitted that he cheated on me, but I am 99% sure that he did. Even my cousins, my guy cousins that he made friends with, would say that he would make bets with them on who could land this girl. He would always play the victim, like, oh, they just are, you know, hating on me and they don't want to see me happy and they're just jealous, all this stuff. And he would always go back to like, you know, I'm a Christian. He was very into this like Christian mode at this moment. But back then we were more religious, and he was always like, I would never do this, that's a sin. Like, let's go to church. He would take me to church every Sunday. He would just like keep me really tight and keep me like in his ring. But he was a little bit manipulating, especially with the rumors thing. I remember even when there was that first rumor in the first month of the relationship, we were on the phone talking, and I was saying like, you know, I want to break up and I don't want to be with you because of all these rumors. I'm here and I'm with you because I want to be. It's not because you're the prettiest girl, you don't have the best body, you don't have the prettiest face. Like, I'm here because I like you. So just like making you feel small and making you feel like it's kind of your fault and manipulating you into seeing things a certain way and not seeing like the truth. I feel like that is very emotionally abusive, and that made me feel like, okay, maybe he does really like me because I'm not the prettiest, I'm not the best, I'm not the this, I don't have the best body. So why else would he be with me unless he really, really cared about me? So that was a little, you know, a little abusiveness and a little manipulation that he used to keep me in. And I was way too young to know what was happening at that time. And again, I just really liked him because he was giving me all this attention. So I stayed with him. But I could go back, and obviously like you shouldn't regret anything, and everything's a life lesson. But if I could go back, I probably should have broken up at that first sign of weirdness and, you know, the rumors and everything. I should have broken up with him that first month instead of making it last 2 years. But yeah, the physical abusiveness came like maybe a year into the relationship. So for the first year, it was very, very nice. We fell in love. Like, we were spending so much time together. We grew so close together. He became my best friend, and I feel like we did kind of wrestle sometimes, like play wrestle, like play fighting, but it wasn't until there was like 2 instances where he slapped me in the school. I never thought that it was like physical abuse or domestic abuse or anything like that, because it was just like a slap, and he was like, no, I'm just kidding, I'm just like playing around, like, you know how we play fight. He was going back to like those, using that as an excuse. But it was very, very humiliating. It was very, very embarrassing. One time he did it near the lockers at the school. Very, very embarrassing. He said that, I don't even know what I said. I don't even know what I did, but it was just totally random. And he was like, no, I'm just playing around, like whatever. But I told him that I didn't like it and why did he do it? But he just didn't have an excuse. And then the second time he slapped me, it was because he got jealous. So I was on the swim team, and I was talking to a bunch of guys, and one of them was on the swim team, and he saw us talking. It was like outside, we were all huddled up together, and he fucking slapped me because he saw me talking to a guy that was on my swim team, and he didn't like it, and he did it in front of everyone, and even the guy saw it. But he was being like really, really aggressive and violent, and he was like, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? Like, and no one did anything. No one like, you know, went up to me. No one wanted to defend me or protect me. And I was just so embarrassed and so like, what the heck? But I followed him home. And I was like, why did you do this? Like, what happened? What did I do? And he was just like, you're flirting, I'm jealous. Not like that, but like, you know, I'm jealous because you were flirting and you were talking to those guys and blah, blah, blah. And then I just walked back home, and then, you know, he apologized and blah, blah, blah. But again, that was those two things are enough reason for you to break up with someone, but I didn't. So, but he just hit me those 2 times. And then when we were also intimate sexually, there was times when I didn't want to, but I felt like I had to because you're in a relationship and, you know, you want to make your man happy, you want to keep your boyfriend happy, you should just do it, give in. So I felt like, you know, every time we had sex, it was consensual. I did it, but I felt like sometimes I had to, even though I didn't want to. I felt like that was also another sign of just me not standing up for myself and me not having enough confidence and me just being young and not speaking out. So another thing is, another sign of an abusive man and a toxic situation is alienating you from all your friends and families. So in the almost 2 years that we were with each other, I literally did not keep one friend that I had from the beginning of our relationship, because he got so jealous, because he would get really, really jealous. When I would go out with even my girlfriends to the mall and I would come back, he would text me constantly, like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? And then he would tell me that he wasn't comfortable with me hanging with my friends because he was scared that they would tempt me into flirting or hooking up with other guys, because girls talk about guys, and he thought that would influence me to be unfaithful to him. So I always felt awkward now hanging out with my friends because I didn't want him getting jealous or feeling like that, because I thought I was doing the nice thing and thinking about his feelings. But again, that was a toxic red flag. Like, he is literally alienating you from hanging out with your friends because he got jealous. So, and then there was another time when I would like sneak out with my friend and go to her boyfriend's house, and I would just go just to, like, you know, I would bring my dog at the time, Chico, my other dog, and I would just hang out at their house. We would eat Chinese food and they would go in the room and make out, and I was just chilling in their apartment, in their house by myself. But and obviously I told him, because I would be so honest with him, I wasn't doing anything. I never did anything. I never looked at a guy, anything. When I'm in a relationship, I don't look at anyone like that, because I'm just totally loyal and focused on one person. But he would take my phone like throughout the day, and he would like pretend that it was me on my phone and text people like, what did we do last night? Like, I forget, like, what happened? And he would just do manipulative, shady things like that. And people wouldn't tell me. They wouldn't tell me because, or maybe they would tell me, but like months and months later. And, you know, a lot of people would say the same thing. Like, they didn't think that I would believe them. They wouldn't think that I would do anything. They wouldn't think I would break up with him. They didn't think that it would matter because we were so tight and he held me like this. So that was another thing. He was very, very jealous, very, very insecure, and alienated me from all my friends. I eventually had no friends. When we broke up, I felt so lonely. When we broke up, he also didn't want me to tell my mom and my cousins what was going on in our relationship, because he knew that he was so shady and he was such a liar and he was so unfaithful and so two-faced. Like, he lived 2 completely separate lives. When he was with me, he would act like he was like this great, loving Christian boyfriend, but on the other side, he wasn't like that at all. He had this other life, met with other people, did other things. He was just very, very troubled. And I just didn't like all the lies. Rekindle all my friendships, and thank God that I had a few best friends that really, really helped me and comforted me and hung out with me and took me out, you know, took me out on like friend dates, because I really, really needed support. And I went back to my swim team, and the swim team also helped a lot, and just having activities and, you know, being with my friends and everything. Another, I don't know if this is a red flag, but he was also very, very flirty. He was very, very flirty, and I was fine with it. So whenever I would talk to guys normal, he hated it. He thought that I was cheating on him, but he would be so flirty with so many different girls. And I didn't say anything because I was just like, that's just his personality. That's just how it is. I wouldn't accuse him of anything because I would never cheat on someone. So I would never accuse someone of cheating on me. But that's like another red flag. If someone is accusing you or jealous or saying that you're cheating on them or making up rumors about you, then it's because they're doing it and they're scared that you're gonna do it to them. But you just never think of it that way because you're not manipulative and you're not scheming and you're not living like separate different lives. He was also a Gemini. He was a Gemini, guys. So yeah, if you know what that means, you know what that means. But he was so flirty. I don't know if it's a red flag. There could, like, people sometimes are just naturally more flirtier and more social than other people, but he was very flirty. He would flirt with so many girls. I gave him my phone, my cell phone, my BlackBerry that I had, that my mom got for me in high school. I gave it to him because his father did not trust him at all, and he was very rude and malcriado with his father. So his father took away his phone and he didn't have a phone. So he convinced me to give him my phone so that we can text and keep in contact when we were apart. And eventually he did have a friend that would pay the phone bill. So it wasn't like he was using my phone and using it for free and not having anything, but he had a friend that would pay to, you know. But there were so many shady things with that phone too. Whenever I would like take the phone and like go to the bathroom and like see the call list, he was always on the phone with different girls. And he would say that they were all friends and blah blah blah. So he could have all these friends, all these guy friends, all these girlfriends, one of the most popular guys in school because he was so social, and I was just alone by myself because he didn't trust me and he didn't want me to be friends with anyone else. How is that fucking fair? How is that fair? But one time, there was 1 month when the phone bill came in and it was like $300 or $400 or even $600. It was a big number. And he got so mad, and it was because he was making so many out-of-state calls or out-of-the-country calls. He was doing a lot of shady things. I don't know if he was selling drugs or selling like illegal things. He was like, he is into a lot of illegal things because he's a very desperate, toxic, you know, bad person. My mom got so mad, and he was so mad that he got caught, and he would make up all these lies, and I don't even think he admitted to anything. My mind first went to like, oh, is he cheating on me with a girl out of state? But I don't really think he was doing that. I think it was some illegal things that he was involved in, because in the past he said that he was in a gang, but then he got out. But now I'm thinking that he stayed in that gang, but it was all, you know, on the low. He was still involved in a lot of shady illegal things, and he got so mad just because he was caught. But eventually he got the guy, manipulated this guy that really cared about him to pay, you know, the phone bill and everything, because he was always manipulative and he was able to get things from different people. And he was also always lying. Okay, I'm gonna end this here because I can go on and on about the situations that we were in and the things that he did to me in our relationship. But the last sign of an abusive man is him lying around you. So when he was on the phone, when we were together, he would lie about the stupidest like little things. He would say that he was somewhere else when he was with me, or he would say that he was with me when he was somewhere else. He was just always lying about little things that didn't matter. He could just be honest and straight up with people, but he would lie to everyone about little things, and I would always catch him and I would see him in those lies. But he would always say that he wasn't lying to me, but that's like another lie. He was a compulsive liar. He would just lie so much. And if you can lie about little things that don't even matter and in front of people, I feel like that is a definite sign that they're lying to you and lying about you, and that's it. But those are like the signs, those are the red flags. And now that I know what I know, I feel like I have definitely avoided a lot of fuckboys, toxic men, bad men, and all that stuff. And my standards are just even that much higher. I really hope this helps some of you girls. And let me know if you've ever had to deal with a toxic, abusive man, abusive boy.